A single sentence can change the temperature of a room. One sharp comment in a meeting, one sarcastic remark in front of your colleagues. Laughter follows. Eyes turn toward you. Your chest tightens. Your face gets warm. Your mind races. In that moment, it feels like your reputation is on the line. Your status, your dignity, your control. Most people react without thinking. Some argue. Some defend themselves aggressively. Some stay silent, but burn inside for hours. Yet there is always that one person who stays calm. Their face does not change. Their voice stays steady. They respond slowly, or they do not respond at all. And strangely, they walk away with more respect, not less. Why do some people stay calm, while others explode? Why does one insult destroy someone's confidence for days, while another person treats it like dust on their shoulder? The answer is older than modern psychology. It comes from an ancient philosophy built for soldiers, emperors, and people under constant pressure. Stoicism was not created in comfort. It was practiced in chaos. It trained leaders to remain steady in public humiliation, political attacks, betrayal, and criticism. One of the most powerful men in history, the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, wrote personal notes to himself about staying calm when people insulted him. He ruled an empire, yet he reminded himself daily that other people's opinions could not control his mind unless he allowed them to. That is a lesser-known truth about Stoicism. It was not about being emotionless. It was about emotional mastery. And emotional mastery is rare, especially at work, where pride, competition, and reputation collide every single day. Modern neuroscience now confirms something the Stoics understood centuries ago. The brain reacts to social rejection and insults almost like physical pain. The same alarm system activates. That is why insults feel so intense. Your body prepares for danger. But here is the hidden power most people never learn. Between the insult and your reaction, there is a small space. In that space lies control. In that space lies strength. In that space lies your reputation. This video will show you how to expand that space. By the end, you will know 7 Stoic ways to handle insults, even in the workplace, without losing your dignity, without damaging your career, and without carrying anger home with you. You will learn how to pause in a way that makes you look powerful instead of weak. You will learn how to separate truth from ego, so that criticism becomes information instead of humiliation. You will discover why Stoics viewed insults as training rather than attacks. You will understand how calm responses often intimidate aggressive people more than shouting ever could. And you will see why long-term respect is built not by winning arguments, but by mastering reactions. There are also lesser-known insights from Stoic thinkers that most motivational videos never mention. For example, Stoics believed that an insult only works if you accept it as truth. If someone calls you incompetent, that statement has no power unless your mind signs a silent agreement. This idea sounds simple, but it changes everything. It shifts power back to you. Another overlooked Stoic principle is this: people who insult often reveal more about their own fears than about your flaws. When you understand this deeply, anger starts to fade. Clarity replaces it. And clarity is dangerous to those who try to provoke you. Many careers have been damaged, not by lack of skill, but by lack of emotional control. Promotions are often decided in moments of pressure. Leaders are observed when criticized. Colleagues remember who stayed composed and who lost control. Watching this until the end will give you practical mental tools you can use immediately. Not theory, not abstract quotes. Real mental shifts that you can apply in your next meeting, your next confrontation, your next unexpected public criticism. You will begin to see insults differently. Instead of threats, they become tests. Instead of humiliation, They become opportunities to demonstrate stability. Instead of emotional traps, they become platforms to show quiet confidence. And here is the suspenseful part. When you stop reacting emotionally, something surprising happens. The person who tried to provoke you often feels exposed. Calmness changes the power dynamic. Silence becomes strategic. A measured reply becomes unforgettable. By mastering these 7 Stoic methods, you will not just protect your peace. You will increase your presence. You will strengthen your image. You will build an inner shield that does not depend on approval. In a world where everyone reacts instantly, the one who responds slowly stands out. In a workplace full of noise, the calm mind becomes rare. Rare qualities create authority. Authority creates influence. This is not about suppressing emotions, it is about directing them. It is about choosing dignity over impulse, strength over ego, discipline over drama. So stay with me until the end, because each principle builds on the next. The final method may completely change how you see disrespect forever. If you value mental strength, self-mastery, and timeless wisdom that actually works in modern life, you are in the right place. Welcome to our channel, where we turn ancient philosophy into practical power for today's world. Subscribe now and join a community that chooses discipline over reaction and strength over noise. Insults hurt more than most people admit because human beings are wired for belonging. Thousands of years ago, being rejected by the group meant danger. It meant isolation. It meant survival was at risk. That ancient wiring still lives inside the modern brain. When someone mocks you in a meeting or questions your ability in front of others, your body does not treat it as a small social moment. It reacts as if something serious is happening. Your heart rate increases. Your muscles tighten. Stress hormones rise. The brain processes social rejection in regions similar to physical pain. That is why a harsh comment can replay in your head for hours. That is why embarrassment feels heavy in your chest. Most people do not realize this biological reaction is automatic. It fires before logic steps in. And because it feels intense, people assume they must respond immediately. They interrupt. They defend. They attack back. They send long emotional messages. They try to restore pride as fast as possible. But Stoicism was built exactly for moments like this. It teaches that the first reaction is natural, but the second reaction is a choice. The Stoics understood that while you cannot stop someone from speaking, you can decide how much control their words will have over your mind. One of the clearest voices on this idea was Epictetus, who reminded his students that events themselves are neutral. The meaning we attach to them creates suffering. His core idea was simple and sharp. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it. When someone insults you, the insult is just sound, air vibrating. Meaning enters when your mind interprets it as a threat to identity. Stoicism draws a firm line between what you can control and what you cannot. You cannot control another person's tone, personality, insecurity, or bad mood. You cannot control gossip. You cannot control someone trying to impress others by putting you down. But you can control your posture, your breathing, your response, and your decision to engage or disengage. That division changes everything. When you focus only on what is within your control, energy returns to you. You stop trying to win battles that were never yours to fight. If you master your reaction, you master the moment. The first Stoic way to handle insults is to pause before you react. Silence is strength, even when it feels uncomfortable. Most people rush to fill silence because they fear it looks weak. In reality, immediate reaction often hands power to the attacker. When someone insults you and you explode, they have succeeded in controlling your emotional state. They pulled a string and you moved. But when you pause, you break that chain. A pause may last 3 seconds. It may last 10. It may be a calm sip of water before speaking. That space gives your rational mind time to step in. It allows emotion to cool slightly before words leave your mouth. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realizing this is liberating. It means even in a room where someone tries to embarrass you, your inner world remains yours. The pause is proof of that ownership. Between insult and reaction, there is freedom. Freedom to choose dignity. Freedom to choose composure. Freedom to choose whether this moment will define you or strengthen you. The second Stoic way is to ask a simple but powerful question. Is it true? This question separates emotion from fact. When insulted, the ego jumps forward first. It wants to protect image. It wants to defend identity. But Stoicism invites you to examine the content calmly. If the statement is false, then it has no foundation. A false claim cannot damage your real character. It can only damage your pride if you allow it. In that case, ignoring it becomes strength. Not every comment deserves a reply. Not every accusation deserves energy. If the statement contains some truth, even a small part, then it becomes information. Information is useful. Information shows where improvement is possible. The Stoics believed truth cannot harm you. Ego can. If someone points out a weakness in your presentation skills and they are correct, then improvement strengthens you. If someone exaggerates your mistake to embarrass you, and it is mostly false, then their exaggeration reveals their character, not yours. This mindset transforms insults from weapons into mirrors. Some mirrors reflect nothing real. Some reflect areas for growth. Either way, calm analysis gives you advantage. The third Stoic way is to see the insulter as ignorant, not evil. Stoicism teaches that people act according to what they believe is right or useful at that moment. Often when someone insults another person publicly, it comes from insecurity, competition, fear, or a need for validation. Hurt people. That does not excuse bad behavior, but it explains it. Anger is frequently a mask for weakness. When you understand this, your emotional intensity drops. Instead of thinking this person is attacking me because I am worthless, you begin to think this person is reacting from their own inner struggle. Seneca wrote extensively about anger and warned that it harms the angry person most. An angry outburst clouds judgment and destroys relationships. When someone insults you in anger, they are already losing control. You do not need to join them. Shifting from revenge to understanding protects your stability. You do not carry their emotional burden. You observe it. You remain steady. That steadiness often unsettles the person who expected a fight. The fourth Stoic way is to refuse to borrow other people's judgments. An insult is an opinion. An opinion is not reality. In the workplace, opinions move quickly. One manager may praise your work. Another may criticize it harshly. One colleague may respect you. Another may envy you. If your sense of worth rises and falls with each comment, you become emotionally unstable. Stoicism argues that your value must be grounded internally in your character and actions, not in shifting external approval. External validation is unstable. It changes with mood, politics, and perception. Your effort, your discipline, and your integrity are more stable foundations. Consider the difference between constructive feedback from a boss and a personal attack disguised as criticism. The first can help you grow. The second often aims to diminish. If you confuse every critique with a personal attack, you close yourself to growth. If you treat every attack as truth, you weaken your confidence. The Stoic approach evaluates calmly and then returns focus inward. What can I improve? What can I ignore? My value does not fluctuate because someone is frustrated today. The fifth Stoic way is to respond calmly or not respond at all. Calmness is intimidating. It signals control. It shows that your emotions are not easily manipulated. An emotional reply often signals the opposite. It reveals sensitivity to approval. It exposes insecurity. In professional settings, the person who maintains composure under pressure often gains silent respect from observers. Words delivered calmly carry more weight. Even a short sentence spoken without visible anger can shift the tone of a room. Sometimes, silence is even more powerful. Silence can communicate that the comment is not worth engaging. Silence can prevent escalation. Silence can force the other person to sit with their own words. Choosing not to respond is not weakness when it is intentional. It is strategic restraint. You are not avoiding confrontation out of fear. You are selecting your battles carefully. That discipline builds authority over time. The sixth Stoic way is to reframe the insult as training. Life constantly tests emotional stability. The workplace especially is a training ground filled with pressure, deadlines, competition, and personalities that clash. Every insult becomes an opportunity to practice patience. Every moment of disrespect becomes a chance to strengthen self-control. Muscles grow through resistance. Emotional strength grows the same way. If no one ever challenges you, your patience remains untested. Stoics viewed difficult people as practice partners. They sharpen your discipline. They reveal where ego still reacts. When you start seeing insults as exercises rather than threats, your mindset shifts. Instead of thinking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin thinking, "This is my chance to train." That shift transforms frustration into growth. It turns annoyance into mental repetition. Over time, reactions become slower. Breathing becomes steadier. Confidence becomes deeper because it has been tested repeatedly. The seventh Stoic way is to remember that reputation is built over time. One insult does not define you. One awkward moment in a meeting does not erase years of effort. Character reveals itself through consistent behavior, not isolated incidents. Time exposes truth. If someone repeatedly acts with integrity, professionalism, and calmness, colleagues notice. If someone repeatedly lashes out, spreads negativity, or insults others, that pattern also becomes clear. You do not need to defend yourself against every comment, because your long-term behavior speaks louder. Inner confidence grows when you focus on sustained action rather than immediate approval. Public opinion changes quickly. Today's critic may be tomorrow's supporter. Today's supporter may become tomorrow's critic. But your standards can remain steady. When you anchor your worth internally and let time reveal character, insults lose urgency. They become small waves against a solid structure. You continue showing up with discipline. You continue acting with intention. And slowly, quietly, your stability becomes your reputation. That meeting is happening again in your mind. The sharp comment, the small laughter, the pressure in your chest. In one version of that moment, you react instantly. Your voice rises. Your words rush out. The room feels tense. You leave frustrated. Hours later, the scene still repeats in your head. Sleep becomes difficult. Anger stays alive. In that version, the insult controls you long after it was spoken. Now see the same moment through a different lens. The comment is made. You feel the first wave of emotion, but you pause. You breathe once. You look steady. You choose your words carefully, or you choose silence. The room settles. There is no drama, no loss of control. You walk away with your dignity intact. In this version, the insult ends in the room. It does not follow you home. It does not own your thoughts. That is the difference between emotional reaction and stoic control. The truth is simple and powerful. You cannot control other people. You cannot control their mood, their tone, their jealousy, or their insecurity. You cannot stop someone from trying to provoke you, but you can control your response. You can control your posture. You can control your tone. You can control the story you tell yourself about what happened, and that control is real power. Not loud power, not dramatic power, quiet power. Every insult is a test, not of your intelligence, not of your skill, but of your self-mastery. When you react without thinking, you give away authority. When you respond with calm strength, you take it back. Over time, people notice who stays steady. They remember who remains composed under pressure. Respect grows around discipline. Confidence grows around control. An insult only hurts when you accept it. The moment you refuse to let it define you, it loses force. The moment you decide that your character matters more than someone's opinion, you become stronger than the comment itself. This is not about suppressing emotion. It is about directing it. It is about choosing growth over ego, strength over impulse, discipline over drama. If this mindset speaks to you, then this channel is for you. We are building more than motivation here. We are building mental strength. We are building self-control. We are building a quiet confidence that does not depend on applause. Subscribe now and become part of a community that chooses mastery over reaction. Like this video, if you believe calmness is real power, share it with someone who needs this strength in their life. And remember, the next time someone tries to shake you with words, your greatest response will not be anger, it will be control.